kinfolks. Everybody is related to somebody. Today, we all must hear. Let us climb to the mountaintop and shout the praises of our forefathers. Let us create an atmosphere based on faith. Let us influence the ones to follow in our footsteps, the many secrets of blackness, all the love in one's heart. United and gathered as one on this day as we celebrate the family reunion. It is the gathering of love, tears, joy, and remembered memories. Today we speak to black ones aloud the words of our beginning. As the little ones grow and the elderly depart, our children will continue to unite, and the celebration of our family will never die, but will go on forever. Look around you. Go back in time. Let your thoughts be dignified ones. Let your heart appreciate the struggle and pride of this reunion. On this day, our loved ones have made it possible for us to assemble and share in this gathering of kin. Today, they can hear. And on this day, I have become a man. I have experienced the joy of giving and sharing, looking over the brood and proud of some. Mom, you did good. I saw you watching me, and I knew you weren't through. Uncle Saul, Aunt Mary, Cousin Ray, and Brother JJ, good folks. Some of them are weird folks. All kin folks, different strokes. Mama, thanks for your strokes. My son, the bond between us all, the golden chain in case one might fall. The greatest gift of all will be the gift, my son, of the eternal flame that burns within my heart for all my kin. Strength, my son, that you will win life's beginning and life's end. On this day, family, I challenge you to play your part in keeping this family together. My firstborn will pass the torch of the eternal flame that will spark the awakening of his generations through the termination that one fails if he chooses to remain silent. There is one in every crowd. This is a woman that used to attend all family reunions, and whether you wanted her to speak or not, she would speak. Her name was Betsy. We called her Old Black Betsy Speech. What am I still doing here? A powerful and honest look at what we are and what we have produced from producers. Young men, you need to stand up in this here society and be counted. We black women are tired of carrying you on our backs. We spoke on your behalf and bought you in from the fields. We spoke on your behalf and dressed you in the master's clothes. We spoke on your behalf and fed you straight from the pot. We have pleaded for your life, and in turn, you destroy true feelings that you were taught. Black women of today, we are tired of carrying such a heavy load. Black men of yesterday, today, and all days to follow, stand up, choose your instrument, and be counted in the parade. Stand up and fight for little black boys and your sons of tomorrow. Seeing our black men cast in subordinate and inferior positions breaks the hearts of black women. When we know that our black man staged and played a role in shaping this here America. The drums of Africa will not rest until each black man has to choose and a chance to prove his worth. What right do you have to isolate yourself and continue to use the back steps? My black brother, my black husband, my black son, lead us on until days are done. What am I still doing here? I will not die. I will not die. I refuse to be buried until all black men are emancipated and march in America's parade. Love. I found love. I really did find love. I found love in Warren's room, his place of refuge. I was the visitor, trespassing on the belongings of privacy. All things up, just enough for passing. Separating the ones worn, I packed, leaving this morn. Feelings of warmth swept over me like the healing from the divine. Intense liquid dripped from my brow. This time I had no control of my armpits. They were wet, moist, an inner rejoicing of one's own soul. Me, I felt so whole. I discovered love, true love, dishonest love, innocent love, hate for love, love for lovers, love for no lovers, many relationships of giving and some of receiving. I feel so lovely. I feel like the Virgin Lady that stooped to dry our Holy One's feet. The many memories of love taught and I forgot. Now I remember. I remember as lightning can light the night, confusing one's sight. I was made from it. I was conceived in it. It was given when I was new, easily taken away when not used, like a stable gust of wind that takes breath from a baby. Love surrounding me, all around me, and I never knew. I have a chance now to use again. I promise all will lay in my bed of love and share in my climax. Oh God. Oh God, thank you. Everybody has an uncle. Uncle, and his name was Uncle Doodad. He could make a snail reject salt. We'd have cookouts, and old Doodad, he would do the cakewalk. He was clean. He would dress in finery. He had a drinking bill, and ain't no way he could feel. He wore cowboy boots all season, 'cause old Uncle, he didn't need no reason. He was always in the saddle. Nothing to him mattered. That little dude could be mean. I remember one night he was out. He beat up 4 men, and not once did I hear him scream. Took my kids out for ice cream, and they ended up playing the slot machines. He was embarrassing at times with folks he didn't know. Oh, Doodad was good as gold. A twinkle in his eye and a flick of the wrist. he would dance in spite of himself. He was always somewhere clenching his fist for folks that didn't believe in his twist. He knew his place and often talked of his disgrace. Me, I liked him any place. Old Doodad know who to irritate. I have his boots, and they will always dance with me. Doodad! Hey, Doodad, don't worry, 'cause it takes all kinds to run a race. Piano player. Let's take him to church. How to get to heaven? On $1 and $1. Are you ready out there? Can I hear amen? Can I hear a little louder? Amen. All right now, we in church. Good evening. Can I hear good evening? Brethrens and sisters and children and visiting saints and sinners and those who saw the light and just happened to drop in. My sermon today will be taken from the text of C.S. That is common sense. How to get to heaven on $1 and $1. So many times, my children, we take life for granted. So many times we forget who's responsible for our mere existence. I say stop. Review your life. Count your blessings, not your money. Stop complaining. You see, it don't matter what you got, where you been, or who you know, but it matters where you going. Because that's one place where you ain't got no choice. I'm here to tell you today, brothers and sisters, it ain't about who you know, but how you have lived. Take your time and think about it, folks. How you living today? It ain't about making it up like you used to do in school. Review just enough to get by. Test time, you don't show up. Want to make it up after your friend takes the test. I'm here to tell you, it ain't about making it up where you going. Study yourself. Get your life in order. So when the time comes, you will be ready. You hear me? It ain't about what you got in your pocket. Because that's one place where they don't take no master charge. Folks, let me tell you, they got a big neon sign up there that waves in the wind. And it says, no layaways, no deposits, and definitely no returns. I'm here, I'm hot tonight, ain't I? Listen to me. It said, no returns. When you clean up your house, you got to clean up your souls. Parents don't know where the kids are. Kids don't know where the parents are. The greatest loss, nobody knows Jesus. Find him. Bring him into your home. Treat him right. Introduce your kids to him. Because if you treat him right, he ain't going to leave. I'm going to tell you, he ain't going to leave. Now, children, we're going to bring it down now. We're going to talk serious now. Bring it on down, brother. Because I'm telling you. Now, listen, children. Take that $1 you got in your pocket. You hear me? Take that $1 you got in your pocket. And you take that down and go straight to hell. Or you can put it in a wishing well. How to get the $1? Give me $1. Just $1. How to get to heaven on $1 and $1. All right. Whew. Piano player. Piano player. Yeah. I feel good. Let's keep them in church. All right, let's go. Y'all ready? Do it again, Lord. Lord, do it again. Because folks down here don't believe you had no son named Jesus that created man. While they's calling him all kinds of names. I met a man on the corner of 3rd and Summer screaming and a hollering. He had $1 in one hand and a bottle in the other, saying something like, "God damn, mother, the cause of Almighty and the chance of Alpha. Lord, I swear if you don't do it again, folks is going to doubt you and they ain't going to come around." Now I believe, Lord, but the wasted tongue of some makes me wonder, because there are so many unwanted situations, places unknown, folks are starving, and misery shown. Do it again, Lord. Lord, you got to do it again. Daddy always on his knees calling Jehovah, Omega, if you please. The rock of song and the arm of the Lord. You got to come on down. You got to do it again, Lord. Now what you say his name is? The Spirit ain't doing it. Got to see and I got to feel, Lord. You say in temples he taught this Prince of Peace that some call the everlasting Father of all. God, we need more references before all will call. Now listen. Listen, God, oh Lord. Introduce me to your son. Don't forget the name. Because, see, I don't care. Long as I ain't out there by myself. Mom, it seems as though only you and Daddy know that is his name, who rules and don't play no games. When times are rough and you fall to your knees, why is it that you know him and others says, "I wonder who bees"? Do it again, Lord. Lord, you got to do it again. And I need to know who I can call on when they have departed for thee. Do it again, Lord. Do it again, if you please. Each day of every year, and in the silence of the night, I would wait before slumber for the laying on of hands. A touch so soft and warm, I would wait, for I could not sleep. Time is of no importance, he never forgets. Me, I'd prepare myself, cleansing of the mind and body, slowly meditating all events of the day, separating the wasted ones, revamping the moods and feelings and thoughts of walkers, the musical smiles of some. This day is at end. I gave of me today, and that's good. I recognize that flowers can give peace and love can be placed in jeopardy. I remember that death can be a pleasure if one can remain awake. Spiritual revolutions cannot be seen, only felt. I changed the truth today and it would not move. I sang and I wept at the same time. I carried some miserable humans on my back to the valley of happiness. I rejoiced, hoping tomorrow they will show others the way. I am in the heaviest part of the night now. I am at ease and peace. The laying on of hands touches purified souls. True dedication that trivial matters will not be repeated. My eyes are so weary, I will sleep, for tomorrow is mine. Tonight's true ritual of confession will be shared tomorrow and all other nights to follow. The laying on of hands is his way. He will say if you are to carry on with tomorrow's day. Equal opera. Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
What?
Can you spare a dime? Equal opera for all. Man, look, I didn't ask you for no lecture on how I look, 'cause I done read the same books as you. And ain't nothing in them that says that you can't help a brother. Hell, I don't want to move in with you. All I want is a dime to call my mother. And you're going to give me this long spiel as how hard you done worked in the mill and how hard it was for you to move your family from the ghetto to the big house on the hill. Is you a foreman at the mill? Is you? 'Cause if you is, I can use a little spiel. 'Cause see, I've been looking for work for over 1 year. My old lady is pregnant and my rent is due and my baby is to start in nursery school. I need the dime, brother, to call my mother to help with the bills. Every interview I've been on, they tell me I'm stuck up. 'Cause I won't work on no garbage truck. Man, look at me. Look at me. I got skills. You say what? What'd you say, bro? Huh? You say take it. You say take that job until I can do what? Man, what my old lady gonna say? Me working on a garbage truck. See, I'm a bricklayer, and no way do I want to do anything else that's gonna mess up these here hands fooling around with no junk. Now you gonna let me have it down, bro? Huh? You gonna let me have it down? See, we as blacks, we gotta help each other 'cause times is rough. Shit, I remember I used to carry big bucks. Got laid off one day and struck a load of bad luck. But I figured come winter, I should be sitting pretty plenty. Everything gonna change 'cause I'll probably pack up and move on up to Maine. What'd you say? How am I gonna get there? Hell, I'll probably take the damn train. Shit. 'Cause see, it's niggas like you that keep us on the move. And I heard that up Maine ain't many niggas like you. Get your schooling and forget from which you came. Man, you ain't gonna get no dime. I was in the same unemployment line. I took the job on the garbage truck, stayed and waited, and played and washed up at the end of the day. I moved in, up, out to better stuff. I never gave up and claimed nothing. It wasn't easy before, and now, bruh, I want more. Man, you need more than a dime. You need time to think and stop making excuses for something that happened last week. Grow up and be a part of something. Don't die with a dime. Be a part of the mainstream, and don't sit on the side and throw pebbles at those who are trying. Now listen here, you take this card and call me in the morning. Hey, look, bro. Now, wait. Hey, look. I didn't ask you for all this. Now, all I wanted was a damn dime, and you want to give me a damn job. The first time is always the best, whatever. First time I made love was in my daddy's chair. My folks was upstairs, and I did just like Daddy said. Only thing, she kept screaming something like, "It ain't there." And I kept saying, "Where?" Next thing I knew, I was walking to heaven. I didn't have no care. 'cause I was through. I liked it. Oh, I liked it. It was all that Daddy had said. Mama kept saying even when I was little, always be prepared. I didn't need no preparation. It came so easy. Whew, and what a salvation. It made me strong. And at one point, I thought I was dead. And old Helen kept on hollering, it ain't there. It took me a long time to figure out what old Helen meant. And I asked old Dad, and he said, what? In my chair? Boy, you got the sense of a bee. Why'd you do it there? You take her elsewhere. Then my old dad said, that's what I mean. Son, you got to wait until she is through. Next time Helen had the urge, I put her to bed. I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I said, Helen, you got to hurry up, girl, or I'm going to explode. Helen was there, and we walked to heaven together. Old Dad was right in what he said. Whew! Integration played an important role, some a devastating role in a lot of blacks. I was for one. So what? Teachers don't like me. They say I'm dumb. So I sit and I stare all the day long. Before I went to this here school, I did good. I was a member of the 4-H club. I was in the band. I was second in my class. I was called on when I raised my hand. I helped in the lunchroom and I stood at command. I want to go back. I want to go back to what I had. I was taught love, discipline, and self-respect. I was in parades, and I helped raise money for rainy days. All the black teachers lived on my street, and they taught little black kids what to say, speak only when spoken to, no foolishness, only when day was through. I want to go back. I was taught how to sit and how to walk, how to talk at home and who to be proud of and right from wrong. I was taught about sex even though we weren't allowed to say the word or practice or even neck. My parents belonged to the PTA. They had an input in what the teachers would say. And on Sundays, them same old faces would be in church waiting us, watching us through the sermon. The movie theater was okay. We had to sit in the balcony, but that was okay. I want to go back. I want to go back to the old way. Oh, how I remember that day when that old master came and said, you niggas is getting it together. No more teaching leadership. We're going to mix. And in 1956, we did. Summer came and went, and there was fall and school. Not to be stripped. We marched in like mechanical tools, told when and where to move. We were blinded by the signs of welcome, but once we were in, we were told we couldn't even spell. We were like puppets on a string, never allowed to wander free, pulled and jerked and handled at times abusively. Me, I made it through. Black kids of today can't even relate to black folks that used to be in control of what we learned. Black love is black wealth, so trust in your ability to seek richness from inside yourself. What am I to say, child? It just happened that way. No one goes back. So what? This is today. Mommy and me. When I was little and also knew Mommy loved me and Papa soon. Mama was a card, an ace. She knew how to make a meal. We had beans a lot. Yeah, 'cause my daddy, he worked in a parking lot. $15 a week. We didn't have much meat, but we made do. There was no defeat. Mama would whip up a cake in a minute or two, and looking at me with a stare, time, girl, to do your hair. Madam Walker and the comb, hold up here, child, you're gonna get burned. Bows and lace, you could hardly see my face. Mama would breathe heavily on me, and I knew she was pleased. I'm all dressed up for the parade. She'd prance me around hand in hand, introduce me all over town, look me up and down, and proud of what she raised. When I was naughty, she'd slap my face. And as the night would come, I'd get ready for bed. A look of love would cover Mama's face. As she parted the sheet from the spread, she would say, Mama loves you just as much as yesterday. It's okay to cry, black men, but it's wrong to be weak. The black man weeps. Hidden call for love, almighty mountain that hides away the hills. Make me believe that the greed you possess can be shared among the rest. I beg of you to spare me, give me, share me. I asked for quietness and you gave me a parade. I asked for peace and you gave me endless nights of sleep. I asked for love and you sent me a serpent. I asked for strength and you made me weak. I asked for time and you took away my memory. I asked for faith and you darkened my soul. I asked for happiness and you sent me to a funeral. I asked only to sit and you cut off my legs. I asked only to speak and my mouth dried like an old ace's that feels the moisture from a camel. O mighty mountain so high and serene, listen to my prayer, explain my being. In my confusion I dare not speak, a form of punishment to man for being so weak. I became interested in death only when you spoke of defeat. The mummies are killing my health. Are they worthy of my attention? When they look and stare every day at work, they say I have no sense. And when I come home, my mate uses me at her own expense. I am a star in my own right. I fall with no help and I land out of sight. I gave love, I absorbed life. O mighty mountain that hides the hills, teach me how to be strong and have a will. I only became attracted to death when I lost the feeling to touch and smell. Oh, the nights I'd lay myself to sleep, and me, oh mighty mountain, you know how much I would weep. I ask only now for a chance to prove that I will teach all other men that it's okay to weep, but it's wrong to be weak. I don't care how much money you have, or how many couches you have, or cars, or automobiles, or shoes. In the eyesight of some, you still sweep. The dark one sweeps and will sweep until he dies, unless fire destroys straw and the makers of brooms find other professions. Perhaps maybe broom makers can rebuild minds and souls of those that control. We dark ones have swept the streets of misery. We dark ones have swept the requirements of equality. We always end up with the handle of injustice. We swept places of stay clean, the same ignorant old tool. We jumped in ceremony and in holy matrimony. Little dark ones were raised and reared to sweep well. The dark one sweeps. Some defiant ones end in jail, refusing to sweep the streets of hell. All levels of intelligence, knowledge, and wisdom earned and gained. We have money in banks. Our clothes are the same. The controlled one says sweep is not the same. Who cheats? Who steals? Who names the game? The sweeping bin, whose game? They say it don't matter what the color or the smell. All dark one sweeps, no matter what the tale. And I knew. I was tree bound, and tears trickled down my face, drowning baby starlings, and I knew. I rode a white goat and I fed him my clothes, and I stood naked on the tracks of a Troy train, and I knew. I ate pheasant with demons. I milked blood from the tits of cows. I cursed the sun and I spat at the moon. The rainbow had no meaning. Pebbles were thrown at the end, and I walked to heaven. Darkness was a pleasure and light had no sense, and I knew. I had no taste for food. Water was used to chase only. Withdrawing from touch was a feeling of serenity. My desire for love was Lucifer's feeling to overpower God. Babies made me sick, and old folks were a waste. Games were played from headless people made and toiled in clay. Pleasure was of no importance, and all facts were lies, and I knew. Hurt and pain drew long sounds of laughter. I sang songs and I couldn't speak. Fairy tales became gospels. Nursery rhymes were chants of scriptures. Christmas was a celebration of witches. And all the while, I thought I was dreaming. Reality is sought. Now I know help is needed if I am to save my soul. God, you knew. Why wasn't I told that I was leading a life of destruction? Now I know. Mommy dear, Mama always always said, boy, stand up straight. Don't slouch. Folks want to know what you is all about. When your head drops, your brain stops. Look at your daddy's picture, all upright and standing strong. Now, he was a man among all men. We'd make love, and he would always sing me a song. The look in his eyes when things were wrong. To lift him up was a love and a pat. And oh, how often your daddy needed that. Slow down, son. You are moving too fast. Things is gonna pass you by, and you ain't gonna last. Control your pace. Think of your daddy's face. When you're off running around and things look bleak, remember the red wagon that daddy found? He gave it to you to slow you down. I remember the red wagon that he painted blue, all for you. The sparkle in his eyes in giving you this gift, not new, but a part of him when he painted it with love, the color blue. Take time to smell the flowers. Take time to look at you. Take time to worship. Don't wait until you have to. Take time to shake a hand. Take time to remember you. Take time to think of your daddy when trouble hits you. And if you only knew, son, what your daddy went through. Don't let your kids belong to the state. Teach them love, not hate. That moment of pleasure is a lifetime of responsibility you shared with your mate. I view love as a touch when you gave so much of you, and you climaxed until you were through. And look, a human being looking just like you, depending all on you. Don't let the cradle fall. Teach him all the rights and wrongs. The touch of its motivation is strength. The feel of your heart will give it common sense. Its cry will tell you its wants. Your hand will teach it tenderness. Your voice will teach it control. Your smile will give harmony to its soul. The closeness of your breast will teach it love. Your mate's walk will give it direction. Your belief will teach it not to judge. The look in your eyes will teach it meaning. The smell of you will teach it order. You have witnessed a miracle. Don't let the cradle fall. The Ginger Gent. From dusk to dawn, and every day, the Ginger Gent searches for his color, even in the rain. Wiping constantly his Mark V claimed in an accident where he lied. He talks of the day when his luck is going to change, yet he makes no moves inside. The conversation is weak. He admires whores, ants, boneless animals and freaks, and useless creatures that stalk the street. The Ginger Gent hollers to onlookers foul words from the abusive tongue that foams and runs like a stream of stale piss. Hey, mother! What's your color? Think you better than me? I don't need your cold eyes, 'cause I am free. I don't work for nobody except in me. I call the cards, I shoot the crap. And can you dig my rap? 'Cause one time or another, I done had your old lady on my lap. I been where you coming from. 9 to 5 for the white boys, and the ebony pied piper stays from 8 to 8, afraid he's going to get raped of his position. When he marked race on his application, he was placed. I work for me, because I'm a ginger gent. I claim no color. You can even call me a gold pandler. I got all handles behind my name, and I ain't surrounding my soul for no white folks' games. My mama was a whore. My old man came home and she was laying with the landlord. Now me, I was in a lemon condition, and I wasn't even born. I don't take orders from nobody no more. 'Cause you see, all you mothers out there looking at me, I am free. I am free inside of me. I got my ride, my wear, my jive, my fix, and I got my whores out there pulling tricks. I don't hide from nobody, and nobody messes with my pride. No brother or hunky gonna mess with me. This here pavement, I'm claiming for payment for the injustice that my mama and my jive-ass daddy placed on me for making sure that I did not belong to the landlord. I wonder what color was he for me to turn out to look like a me. From Superman to Uncle Sam. This place, so quiet at this place. All's well with spring break. Those that stayed have no place. They look lost, colorless faces, no such thing as different races. All look lost and unforgiving. Awareness slowly creeps. Damn, he's dead. He took time for thoughts. Guilt takes a trace. Lives destroyed. Pitch them, they have no eyes. Me, I hide, 'cause I'm scared. Feelings of pride, no, not here. I once was called Superman. Now I am fighting for Uncle Sam. Mama had no brothers, and Daddy had none. Who is this man called Uncle Sam? I hurt for thee, useless flesh here today and tomorrow a mess. Generations, moving, all of us in uniforms of steel. Sho Nuff. Hey, brother, Sho Nuff. Sho Nuff. I got a friend, and we all call him Sho Nuff. He's always standing around talking about stuff. First day I met him, he was dipping snuff. He had a gold tooth, and when he smiled, that front gold tooth would glow for miles and miles. And if Sho Nuff was telling one of his tall tales, folks would come by and they just shake their head. All he needed was an audience, and he would take it from there. His wealth was in his mouth. Sho Nuff didn't care nothing about himself. Hey, Sho Nuff, you dipping snuff? His reply would be, was it to you? My mouth, my tooth, and damn well my snuff. Yeah, I dipped and I swallowed the stuff. Look here, boy, I want you to take some advice. What's the use in having something that you can't taste? I dip it, trip it, rip it, sip it, tease it, squeeze it, bite it, fondle it, mark it, I claim it, and then I slowly meditate it. He said his only mistake was that darn snake. If it wasn't for that varmint, I wouldn't need these here garments. Boy, don't be so quick to move. Take your time and look before you choose. See, you take a woman, for instance. You got to dip her, trip her, sip her, rip her, tease her, squeeze her, bite her, fondle her, mark her, claim her, and then maybe is she yours, sir. You got her for life if you don't hold on too tight. Don't try to climb no mountains or swim no rivers. Live your life and don't be making things complicated. March to the beat of your heart and let old Sho Nuff march to his. I am coming out. I am a woman and I am coming out. I am 18 years old. Mama don't believe me, but listen, she don't even know what daddy's about. I have listened and I have read. I am coming out full bred. A woman I am. I can thread a needle, bake a pie. I've had sex and I can even lie. I babysat with my brother and I slapped his ass for some reason or another. Yes, I am ready. I am coming out. I know what I want to be. I felt hurt and pain at times I couldn't even explain. I've watched my body grow. I felt feelings of warmth between my toes. I have felt the nipples on my breast stretch along with other parts of my flesh. 18 years of developing myself. I'm coming out. I am ready for the test. Yeah, I can drive a car. No, I can't park because I don't plan on staying nowhere long enough to receive any kind of a ticket. I have marched in parades. I've made highest of grades. I've witnessed death. I have visited graves. I've seen sinners saved. I've sung "Oh, Holy, Holy." I've kissed ass. I've played games. I know how to say grace. I can stand up and fight for my race. I can use a hot comb like Reggie swings a bat. I checked my manners and they are intact. I can cuss like a sailor when I gotta fight. I can talk to the old and help them up flights. I know when to listen and not get them upset. I memorized my social security number. I can take a test. When I feel tired, I rest. Babies come from coming, and I know when not to come. I'm ready. I know how to be depressed. I know how to sing the blues. I can use all kinds of mechanical tools. I can even dress myself. I know how to party proper, and I know how to get down with the get downs. I even enjoy the opera. I can hail a cab. My personality leads me to comfort the sad. I know what to do when I am mad. Smoke a reefer, drink a six-pack, get mellow, forget my fella. Hey, I'm ready. I am ready. I'm coming out. Mama, can I buy Daddy's suitcase? And will you have a key made for me? Sand castles and playhouses, make-believe thoughts, and the battle of the bands. We black Americans have been playing in the sand for over 200 years and living in playhouses with Raggedy Ann and the Tin Soldier. We are still believing in the Jolly Green Giant and Superman. The house has no rules, and the sand can be kicked down. What are we building our future on? Where is the man? I beg of you, let us come together and develop rules for our race. We are leaves torn away from branches that at one time were brightly colored. We will not bow. We will not compromise. but we will interact. Waiting for change may be too late. The power base is the human race, not make-believe places. And people with no faces, we are alive, don't play dead, and continue to live in houses that have no foundation. The efforts of preparation cannot be planned alone. We need all to share and build the house of stone. When feeble minds want to play in doll houses and worship in false hope, let us examine the levels of us all and come together with a black agenda where we will no longer play in houses that are not self-standing and sand used to kick and throw in the eyes of those that know. Let us observe the contributions of those who made it possible for us to grow and raise our standards of excellence. From this moment on, disregard the ones who will not put their hands together, and let us look upon each other before our eyes are shut. And we lose all sight of those who continue to build sand castles and live in blow-down houses. We may not convince all to follow with our belief. It may take a strong force as Harriet when she decided that once you pledge, if you falter, you are dead. My last piece of work for the evening is entitled In the Parlor. Every evening at 6, when dinner was over and all pots washed, Granny would walk to the parlor to talk. We all would follow, 'cause Gran knew a lot. A cane in one hand, sweet Jesus she called him as she hummed the old rugged cross when day was done. Near the kitchen the parlor stood, not far for her to walk, her favorite spot, old Granny dear. Even the old maple rocker would start to rock as though it waited for 6 o'clock. The topic tonight would be the same, the dark brown shattered album and the old dusty pictures in the cracked wooden frames. As she reached on the table near, eyes sparkling, looking straight, she'd take, bringing them close to her breast, a silent prayer of thank you, Jesus, and then slowly placing them on her lap. Up she would look to see if we were all placed, a comment on dinner's grace and how we all looked before she talked about the picture book. The book she would open slowly as if to hold on to many memories and secrets folded, pointing in the center as usual, her parents, and then she would recite their name, and this is how she began. My parents were slaves. My mother Tilly and my daddy the white folks called James Willie. Born and raised in slave quarters close to the flour mill. Mama worked in the house and daddy in the field. They up and ran one night. They were tracked, caught, and killed. I lived in a big house for a while, and this is where I learned how to steal. I was caught and I was punished a lot. I was given to a slave named Betsy to raise. I was taught not to steal, that is, not to get caught. I grew and learned what to do, no formal teaching, just watching and acting and respecting, walking in the same tracks of slaves that knew. Then old Granny leans back and points to great-granddaddy Bill, and her eyes fill. The look of love, places, time, it covers her face as she strokes the shaggered picture of her mate. For seconds, Granny is not in the parlor. She is there. Regaining reality of now, she comes back, looks in our face. You kids got it made. Food to eat, a place to stay, clothes on your back, parents that touch and know how to pray. And in your selfish manner, you beg for more and then wait for praise. You got to care more than for yourself. And each other we look. Granny always talks about the same. Tonight she is acting strange. Why is she blaming us for her being a slave? Tonight she is talking about me and sis. Trouble on the way with kids of today. And she looked at me. You mowed the lawn and asked for pay. You were asked to go to the store and you hollered and slammed the door. And old Granny shook her head and said, not in my day. And you making poor grades and skipping school. And the nerve of you staying out late. Talking back to your mother and going in her pocketbook taking her dollars. Wasn't too many things in my life I could be sure of, and them demanding ways like you didn't earn something. Telling your daddy you need freedom to breathe. Well, that took old Granny to her knees. Just once figure out what you are doing wrong and walk the path of the ones that have made the past the reality of the present. Now I'm going to bed, and you two sit here and think of what old Granny said.